The Second Machine Age: Work, Progress, and Prosperity in a Time of Brilliant Technologies, written by Andrew McAfee and Erik Brynjolfsson, is a book that discusses the fast advancements of technology and how it is used. The book also informs the effect on society this digital age has as the expansion of technology grows. The Second Machine Age is a sequel to Race Against the Machines, which was published in 2011, discussing the topics of society and technology during and after the Industrial Revolution. To get started, the basis for the book relies on a law called Moore's Law, which is stated as, quote, "The complexity for minimum component costs has increased at a rate of roughly a factor of 2 per year. Certainly over the short term, this rate can be expected to continue, if not to increase. Over the longer term, the rate of increase is a bit more uncertain, although there is no reason to believe it will not remain nearly constant for at least 10 years, end quote. The Second Machine Age picks up with the rapid intelligence of technology overlapping its predecessors, highlighting the change of this new time. The book discusses that many people will be left behind in this new digital age tech because of a gap between human and machine. As stated on the website dedicated to this book, secondmachineage.com, it explains that the new age we're quickly heading into and shows why we should be optimistic about it, yet also discusses the challenges it will bring. There are 3 main sections divided within this book, the first being fundamental characteristics of the Second Machine Age, the second, consequences of the progress, bounty, and spread, and the third section, called Interventions of the Consequences for Optimum Positive Progress. Each section describes important features regarding this new time period, detailing out scientific studies done across the globe from various scientists, which all discuss projects that companies such as IBM, Google, and DARPA, to name a few, fund to find new technologies. With the rapid intelligence of technology surpassing that of the common humans, we need to understand why this tech works the way it does, and how humans will always have cognitive power over machines. Humans can only do so much, but what we lack in processes, robots make up for. Though robots cannot mimic the human nature we have, though it is becoming more of a possibility each day. The book introduces Moravec's paradox, which is, quote, "The discovery by artificial intelligence and robotics researchers that, contrary to traditional assumptions, high-level reasoning requires very little computation, but low-level sensory motor skills require enormous computational resources," end quote. The advancement of technology will never cease, so why not be a part of the progress? There are a substantial amount of research programs that are dedicated to analyzing robotics behavior and habits for improvement, one being creating more humanistic nature in robots. The study of speech, gender, nationality, age, and so much more information has to be surveyed to understand regional human linguistics, let alone behavior. To adapt these characteristics into a robot will be revolutionary. The field of study has endless opportunities, and I want to pursue it. I want to be a part of history by working for the future. There are many projects right now that one could work for or research about that is trying to change the future. I am working for one of them, called MEDI4, or Media Forensics, held by DARPA, the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, where researchers and many teams are trying to build a tool for the automatic assessment of the integrity of an image or video. As stated on the MEDI4 project brief, I am a manipulator, which means I take images and I change them to then be tested on this tool that is being developed. The goal is to extinguish false imagery in the media that can be harmful. To look further into the subject matter, Andrew McAfee gives a TED Talk called, quote, "What Will Future Jobs Look Like?" end quote, and Erik Brynjolfsson gives a TED Talk called "The Key to Growth: Race with the Machines," both of which also describe the subject at hand in the book. McAfee discusses further a hard point stated called, quote, "The AI revolution is doing to white-collar jobs what robotics did to blue-collar jobs, where scientists, pharmacists, and doctors are more likely to be replaced with machines than a chef or a landscaper in the near future." Brynjolfsson discusses Chapter 12 in his TED Talk on how to race with machines, leading back to the idea that robots can't form new ideas, which gives humans a curve. Erik received a Bachelor's of Arts and Master's of Science degrees from Harvard and his PhD from MIT. A website dedicated to this book states that Erik's research is teaching and examine the effects of information technologies on business strategy, productivity, and employment. His recent work studies data-driven decision-making and the role in tangible assets. And he currently is a Strussel Family Professor at the MIT Sloan School, Director of MIT Center for Digital Business, and a Research Associate at the National Bureau for Economic Research. Andrew McAfee attended Harvard and MIT and was co-founder of the Institute's Initiative on the Digital Economy. He currently is a principal research scientist at MIT, studies how digital technologies are changing business, the economy, and society. Andrew spends time writing and gives lectures across many platforms.